Welcome back, and to shed more light on Eid celebrations in Egypt, we're glad to be joined over the phone by Dr. Hassan Wagih, professor at Al Azhar University. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
Dr. Wagih, Egyptians and Muslims around the world are celebrating Eid al-Adha. How does such celebrations feature the feelings of fraternity among people?
Yes, of course, the feast is a very good occasion for people to shed light on their lives and to lead a happy, enjoyable life because of the nature of the feast itself.
Yes.
It is a feast of sacrifice. So one has to sacrifice for the sake of the group, for the sake of his country or their country. So I think it is very important when it comes to Africa that we have many features that really shed light on the identification ground, the very good identification ground that the feast offer for us.
Yes, Sir, Eid al-Adha is not only celebrated by Muslims in Egypt, it's also shared by Christians during the feast. Now, how was that evident traditionally?
Actually, this is a very nice story of Egypt. This is a very Egyptian story. A long time ago, even when the Crusades attacked our land under the slogan of religion, our Christian brothers were not deceived by this slogan, and they fought together the occupiers, the invaders. And the story of Egypt is very clear in this, and the history is a very long history of good cooperation, good brotherhood, good fraternity. And I think when it comes to Christians and Egyptians, yes, it is in Ramadan you can see our gathering on the breakfast table. You can see in Eid al-Adha congratulations from our Christian brothers, and we do the same thing in their religious occasions. So I think Egypt is exemplifying a very united front and a model for the entire world to follow when it comes to interreligious cooperation and interreligious communication. Despite the fact that some people try to spoil that by sedition and by insinuation, but most of the time we overcome and we became victorious both as Muslims and Christians.
Mm-hmm. Sir, how different is the feast in Egypt compared to other African countries? How does the different celebration traditions differ from one African country to another?
Actually, there is, of course, a common behavior that is shared by many of the African countries, or all African countries. The shared values is to reflect happiness, to enjoy life, to dress new dresses, to provide special food. And when it comes to food, yes, it has different names, but it is under the one slogan of let us be happy, let us feed the poor. This is very, very common among all African countries who are celebrating the Al-Adha, the Korban feast. And I think that when it comes to differences, as your question, yes, there are some differences in celebrations after all this unification of the features that I have already mentioned. Like in Mozambique, for instance, people like to go for the prayer of the feast, and after the prayer they are hastened and they are very fast to shake hands with each other because of the Prophet, peace be upon him, has already said وَخَيْرُهُمَ الَّذِي يَبْدَأ بِالسَّلَامِ, which means the best person is a person who is quick to spread peace. So this is in Mozambique. In Somalia, yes, they have fireworks, but they have one of the most important things is to slaughter and to feed the poor. to slaughter the sheep and the buffaloes to feed the poor as a prime importance. In Tunisia, they have the habit, and I think this is shared also by some of the Egyptian families, which is to visit graves, to visit the dead, and to pray for them and remember their good deeds. When it comes to Morocco, for instance, we call this feast and the other feast of after Ramadan, yes, the season for gold. They buy gold, and also they like to buy the Moroccan traditional dress, so as to be very new, and we go with it to perform the prayer of the feast, and to visit relatives. In Gaza, in Algeria, visiting relatives is a prime importance when it comes to feast celebration ceremonies. When it comes to Senegal, also they have this new dress, and we have also new special food prepared for this occasion. And in Union of Comoros, which we call it in Arabic, Gozor al-Qamar. Yes, you have happy feasts, you have competition, sports competition, you have happy wrestling. You find in the Union of the Morocco, the Comoros, you find that they save marriage ceremonies to be performed during the Eid, so as they have two occasions to be happy with. In Nigeria, you have public figures go with bands and tour the streets and give gifts to the people around them. These are.
Sir, can you hear me, Dr. Wagih?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, how people are celebrating feast has evolved by time, and some people now travel on trips during Eid holiday. So how far does this affect the bond, the family bond and celebrations with the big family?
You have a very good question, actually. But this is so connected with what's happening in the social media platforms. Excuse me. So I think that traveling during the Eid, yes, you can find the capital little bit empty when it comes to Eid, and when you find it empty, you like to go with your car and you go around. There is no crowded buses or crowded traffic. So I think this is a good thing of it. But actually, the gathering of the big family has been impacted definitely by these travels, because not everybody in the family travels. Some travel, some stay here. But in the olden times, the tradition was there that the people, the big family, should get together. And if they got together in the same place, or even if they travel, most of them travel together. Then the togetherness is missing a little bit. The togetherness is impacted definitely.
Well, I would like to thank you very much, Dr. Hassan Wagih, Professor at Al-Azhar University. Many thanks for your insight, and happy Eid to you. And the viewers, now we go back to our special reports, and going to the Landoun sheep, known as the king of sheep, is taking center stage in Senegal. Let's go to Senegal to watch this report.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
More than a sheep by the Senegalese, The price of the ladoum varies according to many criteria such as size, weight, age, shape of its horns. It is considered a mark of prestige in West Africa. Unlike other sheep and rams, ladoums are not fed in sacrificial markets but in specially equipped comfortable mansard. Each is given a special name. Ladoums are used for breeding purposes to beautify other breeds rather than for slaughter. In Senegal, breeding is a cultural matter. First, there is religion. 95% of the population is Muslim. There is the Eid festival with the sacrifice of the sheep. The way this event is celebrated, the number of sheep that are slaughtered can be seen as a family of 10 people where 10 sheep are slaughtered. Various competitions are held in almost all parts of the country to choose the most beautiful ladoum. Even the pedigree is registered. The ladoum is so popular in Senegal that some even have their own Facebook page.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and that brings us to the end of this edition of Africa Today. Many thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more coming up here on Nile TV International.